Welcome to our Fife Green Futures video series. If we want to achieve a just transition, we need to make opportunities for everyone to be involved. This means equipping people with the skills, education and retraining required to move into more sustainable practices in jobs across Fife. Balancing environmental goals with social equity and fairness is key to making sure everyone can be included. We need to change the way we work and the jobs that are on offer to keep the employability sector in Fife thriving. This film will explore just some of the work being done across food, growing and horticulture to make this possible.
Climate change affects food because of affordability and availability, and unfortunately that impacts on many people in our community more than it will on others. They don't have the option to go and buy more expensive food. So I think that's where we'd see the biggest impact in our work. We're trying to educate people on eating, a sustainable diet, and if what was a sustainable diet is impacted with climate change, we have to keep moving with that, and that isn't always affordable. Here at Greener Kirkcaldy, people can learn right from plot to plate. So from growing in this locality and seasonally, to harvesting, to bringing it into our kitchens, to preparing it, cooking it and then serving it to others and sharing. Any of the skills that the food workers learn here could go out into the wider community, whether it's when they're working elsewhere in the community, in other community centres, or if they were working in restaurants, just learning how to prepare sort of hyper-seasonal food. It's the main thing that I see with volunteers that come in here. Somebody will arrive and they've lost all of their confidence for whatever reason, quite often just they've been out of the market for a long time, and they can come here. They're not only building skills, what I find is when they support each other, they really gain confidence, and that's one of the most amazing things I've seen, and it's sort of the most impressive thing. And if it wasn't for some of our volunteers, other volunteers wouldn't learn.
My name's Ruairaidh. I am a volunteer with Greener Kirkcaldy just now. I am also a horticultural student. It's a bit of a job change for me. I was predominantly retail beforehand, so this has been all a bit of a new, exciting adventure. The work that Greener Kirkcaldy do, it's amazing. It's all about education. The biggest thing that we can really do is teach people about the greener initiatives and greener ways to work. And Greener Kirkcaldy are doing a fantastic job with providing people with the educational services that they would need to understand these things a bit better. Climate change is already affecting the industry that I am interested in the horticultural industry, with us having wetter winters, sort of drier summers as well. It's creating a bit of a shift. Sort of plants that are more tolerable down south that would be less tolerable up here are starting to change, and we're starting to see that. So it is causing a big shift, but I think that the work that we do with green initiatives and being more eco-conscious can really help to give us a better understanding of these things. Out with Greener Kirkcaldy, I'm studying horticulture with SRUC. Whilst being at Greener Kirkcaldy, I've had the opportunity to put the lessons that I've been learning at college into practice, and it's really been helping to cement my understanding of everything that we're doing here. So starting to do a bit of work experience with Grow Forth, who are a supplier for plants and trees and things for the private industry and the councils. Learning green skills is going to be really, really important. At the moment, we are learning, especially at college, we're learning a lot about green skills. We're having to do that because we're moving away from chemicals and pesticides and all that sort of thing. We're going into more cultural ways of working, and I think it will have a massive effect where the more the workforce know about greener ways of working, the better things we'll get. Obviously you can't force employers right now to implement these things, but I think the more education we have on these things and more education that the workforce has, eventually someone's going to be in that role where they're going to be able to make a difference and really implement these things.
So I'm Ewan Morrison. I work for Fife Council's Employability Service, and I'm the instructor for the Community Improvement Squad Academy, which is a green skills kind of grounds maintenance academy. A lot of the people that come on the course have experienced lots of barriers to employment. So they're finding it hard to get back into employment or actually sustain employment or gain employment. So we are helping them to get into that kind of sector, into the grounds maintenance sector. Climate change affects grounds maintenance in many ways because working outdoors at any time of year can be challenging. So being ready to face those challenges is really important. Certain areas that we might go into work in might be affected by heavy flooding, so we may be not able to work in there, or that's going to affect the members of the public that are in that area. So they might need extra assistance with that. So being able to change the way that we work and how we do that work, and maybe even the work that we're doing, is going to be affected by climate change. When we're doing our training course, we do call it a Green Skills Academy. So we're trying to build lots of different skills involved in that. So as well as teaching them grounds maintenance skills about how to maintain areas, we're also teaching them about the importance of improving those areas by maybe planting trees or including more kind of seasonal kind of planting and things like that, making sure there's bulbs and things, so that people know when they come on the course that they're going to learn about that sort of thing and how it benefits the community as well.
What I'm optimistic about is using food as that entry point into climate knowledge. Everybody has to eat, you know, whereas not everybody drives, not everybody goes on holidays, but everybody has to eat. So if we can, I think that's what I'm most optimistic about, is getting people in and getting their ideas, what's acceptable to them, and where do they see that they can make even tiny changes, because in the end, I think it just makes a huge impact on the community itself.
I'm optimistic about everything in general, really. I'm looking forward to this new career that I'm sort of chasing, and I'm looking forward to seeing the change in the green ways that we're working, especially the way that the government are looking to implement these things with renewable energies, with bans on peat extraction and things. It's massively important, and I think that we're on the right track.
I'm really optimistic about particularly the young people that come through my course, because they're coming in with good knowledge about the climate already, which I maybe didn't get when I was at school, although I did have an interest. But they know about it already, and they know what's happening, but they're not really sure how it's connected to them and their community, and being able to show them that and link it in with like physically being there in that community is really great. So I'm really optimistic that they'll take away the stuff they've learned on my course and take it forward into future employment on their personal lives as well.